We have a triangle ABC that we have to reflect across the y-axis. There's a couple of different methods for achieving this. One method is to simply use the coordinate plane itself to do the reflection. Before reflecting this object across the y-axis, let's make sure we first know where the y-axis is. On a coordinate plane, the y-axis is the line which goes up and down. We must make sure that our object is reflected across that line. Now, let's take a look at point C. Notice that point C is exactly 4 units to the left of the y-axis. So just take point C and move it 4 units to the right of the y-axis. That's the new location of point C. Point B is located 4 units to the left of the y-axis as well. So make sure to do the opposite and move it 4 units to the right of the y-axis. Take a look at point A. Point A is located 7 units to the left of the y-axis. So let's simply move it 7 units to the right of the y-axis. And we have found the 3 new locations of point A, B, and C to reflect it across the y-axis. Now, let's write down the ordered pairs of the new points. Point A is located at +7, -6. Point B is located at +4, -6. And point C is located at +4, -2. Now let's compare our new points to the old points. As you take a look, the absolute value of each of the coordinates stayed exactly the same, meaning that A had an absolute value of 7 and 6, and when we changed it, the number still stayed 7, 6, but there was one thing that did change. Take a look at each of the x values. All of the x values were negative, and after we reflected the object, all of the x values became positive. That brings us to a rule. Whenever we reflect anything across the y-axis, all of the y values will remain the same, the number as well as the sign. But for the x values, the sign will become opposite of what it was before. So for point A, it was -7, and it turned into +7. B and C were both -4, and we changed those both into +4. Now let's use the same rule to reflect triangle ABC across the x-axis. The same rule will apply, except for when reflecting something across the x-axis, it's the x values which will remain the same, and it is the y values that we will have to change the sign to the opposite of what it was. So let's just rewrite all the x values exactly the same. -7, -4, and -4. Now, let's take all of the y values. Because each of the y values were negative, simply turn them positive. So instead of -6, -6, and -2, we now have 6, 6, and 2. Now we have the location of the 3 new points when reflecting our original triangle across the x-axis. Now let's plot each of the ordered pairs. The new point A is going to be located at -7, +6. The new B location is at -4, +6. And point C is located at -4, +2. And when you connect all of the dots, we have our new right triangle, ABC, which was reflected across the x-axis.